gentlemen, boys and girls, hustlers, makers, and content creators, welcome to the only live stream on planet Earth dedicated to mobile content creators and mobile YouTubers. My name is D, and today I'm answering your mobile creator and mobile YouTuber questions, but more importantly, we are talking about the new rules that are going to take place, well, December 10th, they're starting, but I think we have until January 1st, but this is about to turn kids' channels on their head, and you might have some problems with your channel too, depending on the type of content that you're making. And that's what we're talking about today. And if I'm lagging, I apologize. I'm streaming from Thailand, and I just wanted to get out here and get going. I had this scheduled for like 20 more minutes, but I just wanted to get on this because this is an important topic. Now, if you guys want, I was kind of thinking about this before I went live, and I don't have it set up to do it on Streamlabs here, but I might stream this way for a little bit, and then I might turn off and then come back on with StreamYards where I can pull guests on and we can kind of have a conversation. So if you guys are interested in that, type in yes right now into the chat, and then maybe we'll do this for a little bit, and then I'll disconnect and come back on StreamYard, and maybe we can pull some other creators in here and we can talk about this FTC thing and get some varying opinions on here. So this is something everybody's interested in. Okay, we good? We good with that? We good with that? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, what's going on? The Urban Explorer, Doug Houston YT, Vagard holding it down in Tokyo. I believe you're in Tokyo, Japan. Loving your Instagram stuff coming from there. All Things Nell, how's it going? Trusty Tiger. Yeah, you know what? All these names just came flooding in, and I can't say hello to everybody, but you guys know that I just want to say hello. Hey, Windows XP, how's it going? Thank you for the super chats. Much appreciated. AD Guy, how's it going? Okay, so let's talk about COPPA. Let's say, hey, Car Galaxy Studio, how are you doing? Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Hey, Pale Rider. So how many people, show of hands, how many people make children's content, or you're making content that you're afraid could be confused as children's content? If that's you, put your hand up. Put your hand up if you know for sure that you're making children's content, or you're afraid that you could be making children's content, because we're going to talk about this. So hands up. Hands up. Put your hands up. And by the way, today's show is sponsored by TubeBuddy, the #1 browser plugin and growth app for YouTubers. Unless this is your first day on the platform and you're trying to figure out what kind of tools you need to succeed on the platform, well, I know you already have TubeBuddy, but everybody else, link in the description below for that. So I'm going to see how many people are just like me. Okay, there's a lot of hands up right now. There's a lot of confusion going on. Urban Explorer, not you for sure. A lot of confusion, a lot of people who are not really sure what's going on. Now, how many people in here, and I'm going to be asking some questions just because I'm trying to get a feel. Hey, Eric, wait. I'm trying to get a feel for what's going on in the room right now. How many of you are gamers and you're using characters or cartoons in your thumbnails? Or you're just playing games that have characters or cartoons in them. Fortnite, Minecraft, any sort of a game, right? Now, of course, Call of Duty and that sort of thing, that's definitely not kids. But or Roblox, right? Right? So you guys are probably panicking right now, and rightfully so, because it's a little bit vague. They haven't said anything about gamers, but they did say, do you guys want me to read? You know what? Let's pull this in. Let's talk about this for a little bit. Well, that's the wrong thing that I want to pull in. You just got like double D'd right there. Let's see if we can find the right one. That would be the wrong one as well. So let's see what they got here. So determining if your content is made for kids. And by the way, I don't want to get into why this is. I don't want to get into the government shouldn't be taking care of the kids. I don't want to get into this is YouTube's agreement with the FTC. I don't want to get into the why. What I want to get into is just, do you think your channel is protected? Do you think this is going to affect you? And I want to have the conversation about what do you think this is going to do to kids' channels and to the platform in general. So let's just go over some of these things. And those of you who don't know, hey, Windows XP, thank you again, much appreciated. For those of you who do not know, I'm reading this directly off of a Google support page here. Determining if your content is made for kids. So let's go through and let's read some of this. Now, I'm going to highlight this. According to the FTC's guidance on COPPA, a child video, and by the way, COPPA, in case you don't know, is the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. According to the FTC's guidance on COPPA, A video is a child-directed, which we will call made for kids, if children are the primary audience based on the factors described below. Children are not the primary audience, but the video is still directed towards children based on the factors below. So the first thing we're going to talk about here, hey Mia, the first thing we're going to talk about here is, are you making content for children? So it's not necessarily, hey, are children watching my content? Because we don't really know. YouTube only gives us data for 13 and over. If you're over the age of 13, because that's how old you have to be on YouTube, right? You need to be 13 to be on YouTube. Hey, Outdoors with Eric, how's it going? Right? 13 years old and above, that's the data that we get because that's how old you're supposed to be when you're on YouTube. Harry the Hammer, right on, man. But, you know, if you're not making content for children, right? Like if you're making content, if your channel is about repairing aircraft engines, you are clearly not making content for children and you have nothing to worry about. You just need to label your videos correctly, label your channel correctly. So the intent here is very important. Do you create content for children? Is that your intent? If it's yes, then you need to pay attention. If it's no, then you need to make sure that you just mark your content correctly. But let's go a little bit deeper and see what they say here. When deciding whether or not your channel or video is made for kids, you should consider various factors. And and that's going to be right there. And let's talk about what those various factors are. Subject matter of the video. Is it educational content for preschoolers? Are you creating educational content that people under the age of 13 could consume? If your answer is yes, then you're going to have to mark your videos as for kids. And we're going to talk about what this means a little bit later in terms of what's going to happen to your videos and possibly even your channel if you do this. And by the way, I also want to note here that the definition of kids under the age of 13, that applies to the United States of America. Now, I don't know what the age is in your country, depending on where you're at in the world. By the way, chime in, type in what country you're in right now. If you're in Canada, type in Canada. If you're in the United States, type in USA. If you're in Germany or England or Pakistan or India, wherever you are in the world, just type in. I'm curious where everybody's chiming in from. There's over 100 people in here. And okay, UAE. Okay, so every country is going to have their own legal age. It might be under the age of 13. It could be under the age of 14. It could be under the age of 15. You're going to have to look into this to find out what that legal age is in the country that you're in. But under the age of 13 is what applies for the USA. Wow, there's a good mix of people in here. Wow. So TCAP Recipes says, thank you, D, for answering some of these questions and putting our mind at ease. I'm an adult humor cooking show in M&M's for D. Yeah, look, you're making content, you're adult humor and cooking. You're not making content for children, so just mark your videos as not for kids. And by the way, I do want to say that I am not an attorney, and if you are on the fence and you're not really sure, please consult legal counsel on this. Because, you know, if you're on the fence, you just want to be sure. Paul Peck Drywall Tube, how's it going, sir? Hope you were doing well. Somebody else dropped a super chat. Yeah, there's Windows XP. Thank you again. Do you know a way to see your age range when you don't have enough data? Also, I'm in the USA. Okay, so if you're in the USA, you need to go into your analytics, and you can go into demographics, and it will tell you your age ranges starting at the age of 13. Right? It doesn't tell you if people are under the age of 13. It tells you if people are starting at the age of 13. Okay, so let's go back to what they say here. Whoa, what just happened? Okay, my system's falling apart. Okay, the next thing is whether or not your intended or actual audience for the video, right? So if you're intending to make content for the children, you have to mark for children. Whether or not the video includes child actors or models. So if you have underage models in your videos, if you have underage child actors, then you're going to have to mark your content as for children. Whether the video includes characters, this is a scary part here. This is the part for me, this little line right here that makes me concerned for some gamers, but it says whether the video includes characters, celebrities, or toys that appeal to children, including animated characters or cartoon figures. I'm going to read that again. Whether the video includes characters, celebrities, or toys that appeal to children, including animated characters or cartoon figures. Now, this is the part that makes me really uncomfortable, because think about what cartoon characters, what figures are appealing to children. This is very vague, right? Appealing to children. Lots of cartoon characters, lots of characters. Mr. Rogers, there's a new Mr. Rogers movie coming out, right? Mr. Rogers, Tom Hanks is playing. Doug Houston says, hold tight, let D get through the document. Okay, there's a Mr. Rogers movie coming out. Tom Hanks is playing Mr. Rogers. Now, I'm going out here on a limb here, and this is just my opinion, but Mr. Rogers specifically is a character. He is a celebrity, and they mention right here, celebrities. Mr. Rogers is a celebrity targeting children, right? So when that, are they going to have to mark that preview with Tom Hanks for that movie is for children? I don't know, maybe. I mean, it's not made for children, but it is a celebrity, right? Gray areas here. So what about some of your game? What about some of your game characters? Fortnite, I don't know, that pink cuddly bear thing, that could be appealing to children. We don't know. Hey, first 1,000 hours, thank you. It says, I disagree with the FTC ruling. More mature content might be put on YouTube so channels can prove they're not made for children. Let's write to the FTC. Yes, there is a link. If one of the moderators wants to drop the link to the form where you can write the, I think there's a petition going on to the FTC. Moderators, feel free to drop that link into the chat right now. Everybody should go fill that out. Because, yeah, this whole thing is sketchy. So Art by April says, so if I draw animated characters, I can be appealing to children. Yeah, and here's the part that scares me. And I don't have the answer to that. Here's the thing. They just say, let me go back here and make sure I read this right. It says, or, right, celebrities, characters, or toys, including animated characters or cartoon figures that appeal to children. Now, if you guys, those of you who are Americans, you know the U.S. government definitely kind of goes overboard here. So what appeals to children? And who gets to decide? And this is the part that worries me with you gamers. You know, Minecraft, Roblox, Fortnite, that sort of thing. Who gets to decide which cartoons, which characters, which celebrities appeal to children? This is a part that concerns me because it's very vague. It's very vague, right? Does some 65-year-old out of touch person at the FTC, do they get to decide which characters and cartoon characters and which toys appeal to children? I don't know. So this is the part that really kind of makes me uneasy. Beanie Draws, right? Kids hate dinosaurs. Right? That's weird. Now, Beanie, I know that you do not make content for children primarily. However, those are characters. Those are animals. Those are cartoon characters. I don't know, right? This is the part that really puts me in a really uncomfortable place because you don't know. We don't know, because just by saying that appeals to children, that is so broad. That is so wide open. What do you guys think that means? Who do you think is going to get to decide? Who do you think is going to get to decide what appeals to children? This scares me. This is the part that really makes me uncomfortable with the entire thing. I think the FTC is going to get to decide. Some out-of-touch person on the FTC is going to get to decide. What do you guys think? Because it's not going to be me. I don't get to decide. You don't get to decide. The parents definitely don't get to decide anymore. That's gone. See, parents messed up when they let their under 13-year-old children on YouTube on their accounts, right? That's where that kind of went south. Beanie says, even activities that appeal to children. So that basically covers drawings as a whole. Exactly. It's so vague that until that's defined, and we might not ever get a definition on that. We might not ever get a definition on that. They could come in and just start fining people like crazy. U.S. government, right? FTC, that's what they do. The FTC, for those of you who don't know any history of the FTC, how many people know Howard Stern? Now he has a YouTube channel. He's on Sirius Radio. He was on lots of popular radio stations. He has his own show. Who knows Howard Stern? Type in yes right now if you're aware of Howard Stern. The Mark Show, thank you, man. Says, what's up, D? 25% of our videos are for kids. Where did those videos go? YouTube Kids only, YouTube, or both? Okay, so here's the thing. If those videos are for kids and you know they're for kids, you're going to have to mark them for kids. And let's talk a little bit. Roberto Blake, how's it going, man? I'm going to get to you in just a second, Roberto. Roberto, I would love to have you on. I would love to get your opinion on this. I know you were live yesterday. I was sleeping. If you would love to come on, Roberto, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go live for about an hour in this format, and then I'm going to switch over to StreamYards, and they're going to bring some people in. I would love to have you chime in on this, Roberto. Okay, so if 25% of your videos are for kids, where do those videos go? They're going to still be in the platform. You're just going to have to mark them for kids. And then what's going to happen is you're going to lose your comments on those videos. You're going to, and the ads that do get shown on those are not going to be targeted ads. This is a mess. This is a mess. Hold on, the super chats are rolling in. Hold on here. So yeah, the videos are still going to be in the platform. They're just going to lose features. Okay, Roberto says, let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to go. I just went live like 18 minutes ago, so I'll probably go for another 30, 45 minutes in this format. I'm going to disconnect real quick, go over to StreamYards, and then I'm going to start pulling people in, and I want to get some opinions on this. I want to have that conversation. Hey, Cosmic W. All right, where are some of these other super chats that came in that I missed? I do apologize. Okay, so Kelly Paint says, I feel like art channels are really in danger here. I've been doing fantasy, urban legend storytelling along with my art. Would a TV 14 warning help? Unfortunately, giving a warning, make sure this is turned down. Unfortunately, giving a warning, like those days are gone. We don't have that anymore. What the easiest fix would be to everybody just put a warning in front of their video, right? I think Andrew Can and someone else is talking on Twitter about we should just be able to label our videos, right? This video is intended for mature audiences. M for mature, right? -13 for under 13, right? We should be able to do that, but those days are gone. Like this is going to happen. It's going to happen on, it starts in December 10th, and I believe the final deadline, I think, is January 1st. But this is going to happen. So warnings aren't going to help. All you can do is mark your videos based on who you intended to watch your videos. So if you know you're making videos for kids, you're like, yeah, I'm making videos for kids. I'm singing songs for children. I'm making art for children, and you know that, you're going to have to mark those videos as for kids. If your audience is adults, we'll mark them for adults and let the chips fall where they may. Unfortunately, this could get messy. Roberto says, boomer government didn't care about protecting kids on YouTube for 14 years. This is a smokescreen for attacking Google. The government doesn't disclose the data it collects on us. They are hypocrites. This is about money and control. Roberto, let me tell you, man, I have thoughts on this that I agree. I agree that this is definitely a step, because if you think about it, if you take a step back, and what is the internet? The internet has given every single human being on planet Earth that has access to a smartphone and has access to the internet, it's given them a voice. It's given every human being on the planet a voice. Now, that's a dangerous thing for some governments. When everybody has a voice, when everybody can be heard, when everybody can gather an audience, when people can gather audiences of hundreds of thousands, of tens of thousands, of hundreds of thousands, of millions of people. Think of some of the reach. So look at Mr. Beast, 20-something million, right? Look at some of these creators, millions of, that's a huge audience, and that's a scary thing. That's a really scary thing. So yeah, I think this is a step you know what? Let's save this conversation when we go over to StreamYards. But I think it's definitely a step towards trying to regain control, trying to control what's going on a little bit. And hey, Alan Osborne, I also don't think that it's going to end here. And anybody who knows history, anybody who's studied history, anybody who knows anything about how the governments work, it's not going to end here. This is like another baby step, right? They just keep baby step. You know, they boil. You've heard the thing boiling frogs, right? You put a frog in water and it's boiling. He wants to jump out. But if you put the frog in water and it's not boiling and you just slowly let that water boil, you're going to cook the frog. So I think the boiling frogs here. And we're going to save this conversation for when Roberto comes on. Now, if I missed a super chat there, I do apologize. I'm trying to get caught up with the chat. It is moving fast. Okay. All right. So I'm going to pay Christina Smallhorn. How's it going? Hey, Day, you gave me free Super chats. YouTube gave you 4 free super chats. Wow, that's mighty kind of them. All right, let me go back here and continue talking about this. Okay, so we mentioned whether the videos include characters, celebrities, or toys that appeal to children, including animated characters or cartoon figures. This is the part that absolutely just scares me the most, because somebody gets to decide which one appeals to children. Cartoons like Disney, come on, Disney's toast, right? Disney's toast in terms of that, like, entire channels are going to have the features turned off. But here's the thing, though, like, companies like Disney, they've got money to fight this, and companies, they're not going to fight. Like, you're not going to get a lawsuit on this. Somebody's not going to fight back. Somebody's not going to buck back until it actually goes into play. So you could see something, when this actually goes into effect, you could see some companies, step up and sue over this. We'll see. They could, file for an injunction, which could put things on pause. There's lots of legal stuff that could happen, but it's not going to happen until, or if it could happen, it's not going to happen until it actually takes effect. All right, the next thing, whether the language of the video is intended for children to understand. That's kind of vague, right? I mean, we're not really speaking in goo-goo dada terms, but a lot of people, especially if they're making videos for a younger audience, they're not necessarily making videos for preteen audience, but they're speaking in a simple manner. That's pretty vague too. Whether the video includes activities that appeal to children. What does that mean? Such as play acting, simple songs, or games, or early education. Simple songs. Who decides what a simple song is? Right? The ABCs? Okay, gotcha. Happy Birthday is a simple song, right? Happy Birthday is a really simple song. Can we not sing Happy Birthday? I don't know. Games? What games? Right? Simple songs or games. Yeah, that's scary too. Activities that appeal to children. Beanie draws, yeah. Artists. Drawing appeals to children. Unless you're drawing violent stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Whether the video includes songs, stories, or poems written for children. That's pretty self-explanatory. Or any other information you might be able to help determine your video's audience, like empirical evidence of the video's audience. This is a part that makes my head explode right here. Empirical evidence of the video's audience. Well, if you look into YouTube analytics, it starts at age 13. It starts at age 13. It doesn't go under the age of 13 where this takes effect. Over the age of 13. You cannot get empirical evidence that people under the age of 13 is watching your content, because you have to be 13 to even have a channel on you. Man, this just like makes my head want to explode. Roberto, I saw you drop another. He says, yes, the current administration wants to attack social media companies, but so do the folks like Warren and Sanders. It's both sides of the aisle. Yeah. Frustrating. Urban Explorer says it starts at 13 because you have to be 13 to have an account. Right. So you got to have, thanks, Hassine, I appreciate it. So how do you have the audacity to ask us for empirical evidence of the video's audience when you don't even give us the data to let us know if anyone under the age of 13 is watching the content, because they can't even legally be on the platform if they're under the age of 13. Infuriating. Okay, so if any of that applies to you, or if you think any of that applies to you, you're going to have to mark your videos for kids, and you're going to lose features. You're going to lose comments. Ads are not going to be targeted. People are not going to be able to save your videos and download them later. People are not going to be able to add your videos to playlists. And if your entire channel is geared towards children, you're going to lose the community tab. You're going to lose stories. You're going to lose notifications. Yeah, this is going to be painful for some channels. Now let's go down here. It says, and they give us a note. This is kind. So they ask us for empirical evidence, and then they toss their kind little note that says YouTube Analytics is not designed to help determine if your content is child-directed. You should use the factors outlined by the FTC above to set your audience, right after asking for empirical evidence. So that's go Google. Appreciate that. Okay, so they go on. How old is a kid? And I talked about this when I first came on. The age of a kid in the United States is defined by anyone under, oh, I'm not even on this. I'm sorry. I wasn't even shown this. How old is a kid? The age of a kid in the United States is defined as anyone under the age of 13. However, the age of a kid might be higher in other countries, so consider these factors described above as appropriate given how a kid is defined in applicable laws in your country, and consult legal counsel if you have any questions. So that's pretty wide open. Now, YouTube's doing the thing that they have to do. They can't tell us. YouTube's not going to tell us if our content is for kids or not. They have to give that responsibility to us, the creators, because that's going to put them on the hook if they decide for us. If they make the decision and say your content is not for kids, and then the FTC comes along and says, hey, that content is for kids, and here's 40 videos, and we're going to fine you $42,000 for all 40. YouTube's not going to absorb that kind of a cost. So what they have to do is they have to say, it's your responsibility, seek legal counsel if you have additional questions. First 1,000 hours says, will YouTube Premium save kid creators? I don't think anything's going to save it. I mean, look, here's the thing. Google's smart. Google wants to survive. It's in their best interest of the people who have stock in them and the people who own them. And right, they're going to want to pivot here. They're going to want to make whatever necessary changes to continue, but they made this agreement with the FTC and they're going to have to honor it. Now, they might end up spinning out something on YouTube Kids, and I'd love to get Roberto Blake's input on this when he comes on. They're smart. I'm sure they're going to figure out something, but generally speaking, kids' channels and kids' content is going to take a hit. Now, if you hit this little drop-down button right here, it says, what if my content is made for a wide audience, but not kids specifically? Now, I know there's a lot of people who make content for a wide audience. If you make content for a wide audience, type in yes right now. Type in yes if you make content for a wide audience. You're like, hey, I don't make content for kids. I make content for a wide audience. And if kids happen to watch my videos, okay, they do. If adults watch my videos, okay, they do. I just make content, right? I make content to make content. I'm never making content with the thought in mind where like I'm trying to attract a certain demographic. I make the videos that I make. And I know so many people in here, and I bet, whoa, overwhelming yes. And we've got a we as well, right? A lot of people, yes. Hey, Zortech, how's it going, man? Right? So most people are making a wide range of content. You're not targeting kids. You're not targeting anyone. You're just making the content that you want to make, and the chips are falling where they may. Right? All of us, right? That's an overwhelming yes for the most part. Real quick, D all the way G, and your name got my attention because of the awesome word D, says what? Oops, where did it go? Hold on one second. Regina, I think you accidentally got deleted. Apologize about that. Man, I just had a question for D, and it just like blew past here. Regina, you are accidentally getting deleted here. I'm not sure. Urban Explorer, I think you're accidentally deleting some people in here. Hold on here. My apologies. Yeah. All right, D, you had a question about fighting gaming. That's what it was. My opinion on fighting gaming. Look, I think there are some games that are clearly not for children. I used Call of Duty as an example before. If you're playing a game that is clearly not for children, you're probably going to be okay. But there are some games that have cute characters. They're cute and cuddly, or they might be considered appealing to kids. That's the scary part. Moderators, you can chill out a little bit. I'm not sure why she's getting Regina. I'm not sure what you said there. I'm not seeing anything that's I think she was saying to subscribe to my channel, guys. Settle down, mods. Settle down. It's all right. Oh, so it was hidden. Yeah, I think she was saying subscribe to my channel. Regina, apologies. The bot was going wild and all that stuff. Yeah, Fortnite, I don't know. There's cute and cuddly characters on there. So not sure. And Eric Waite is definitely a cute and cuddly character. Okay, so let's go back here and talk about this part about what to do if you apply to or you appeal to a wide audience. It says here, I'm going to take the blue off because it's easier to read. It says, as the creator, you know your content best. If you intend to reach a kid audience, it's likely that your video is made for kids. So this is the important part. Because I know I made a video about this 2 days ago, and there's like over 1,000 comments on there already, and a lot of people are asking questions. Hey, what about my channel? Do you think my channel is appealing to kids? and this is key for a lot of channels. If you intend to reach a kid audience, that part's very important. If that is your intent to reach a kid audience, and by kid, they mean under the age of 13 in the US, it is likely that your video is made for kids. So if that's your purpose, if that's your intent, then yes, you're making content for children. You know that. If that's you, you know it, mark your videos appropriately. If you're not sure about your audience, take a look at the features of your videos. Does it have actors, characters, activities, games, songs, or stories that kids are particularly attracted to? This part right here. If you're not sure, does it have actors, characters, activities, games, songs, or stories that kids are attracted to? Characters could be gaming. I don't know. They specifically say activities. Is drawing a child attractive activity? Possibly. Games. What games? Yeah, the vagueness of this is terrifying. The key is to balance all the COPPA specific factors that apply to this analysis. For example, the fact that a kid is featured in a video does not necessarily mean that the video is made for kids. So if you have your kid in the video, like I know Christina, you have kids in your video, but that doesn't mean that you've made them for kids. But you do have kids in your video. Again, it goes back to intent. You will have to look at other attributes of the video, like the intended audience, whether the video uses language that is intended for kids to understand, and the subject matter of the video. A medical video versus a play video, right? They make that claim there to where, like, if you're making if you're playing doctor versus you're really a doctor, right? There's a big difference there. For further information on whether content is kid directed, see the FTC guidance. You should also consider consulting a lawyer if you're not sure whether your content should be designated as made for kids. Yeah, some lawyers are going to make a killing on this for people not sure. In addition, and this is very important here, in addition, creators outside, I'm going to highlight this. In addition, creators outside the United States will need to take into consideration additional obligations they may have under applicable laws when evaluating whether content is made for kids. Note, while the age of a kid in the United States is defined by someone under the age of 13, the age of a kid is defined differently in different countries, so consider the factors described above as appropriate given how a kid is defined in relevant laws, and consult legal counsel if you have additional questions. Man, all that stuff is just so wide open. So, some of the things that really concern me, and I'm going to jump into the chat for a moment here. No, delete. Okay, here's the thing. Kitty Love says, problem solved, just delete the channel. You don't have to. Hey, Sammy, you don't have to delete your channel. And I see people talking about this in my comments where they're saying, I'm just going to delete my channel. I'm just going to delete these videos, or I'm just going to private these videos, or I'm going to unlist these videos. Look, here's the thing. First of all, YouTube's AI can see it if it's unlisted or if it's private. And if somebody has a link, if notifications went out and those links are out there, they're floating around the universe, those links are out there even if they are unlisted and that sort of thing, or if you pull them back in and make them private. Hey, Andrew Can, how's it going? Andrew, I'm going to be going over, I'm going to switch over to StreamYards in about 30 minutes. I'm going to be pulling some people in for conversation. If you're interested, I know Roberto's coming on. If Doug is still up, maybe Doug can come on. I'd love to have you on if you're interested. What was I going to say, Andrew? Deleting your... right? Deleting your channel is an extreme reaction. Yeah, the thing is, you don't have to delete your channel. You don't have to. I've seen so many comments where people are saying things like, I was getting ready to start my channel, now I'm not going to. Or I'm going to delete my channel and quit YouTube. Or YouTube has just ruined my life. I have to delete all of my videos. Look, all you have to do is know what your intent is for making the videos. If your intent is to reach children for your target, you need to mark your videos as kids. If you fall under any of those specifications that I just went over, you need to mark your videos as kids. If not, mark it not for kids, right? Most people in here, Andrew Can, for example, does not make content for kids. Did I miss a super chat, Doug? Okay, I'll get to it. Andrew Can does not make content for kids. Doug Hewson does not make content for kids. I do not make content for kids. Roberta Blake does not make content for kids. TubeTechie doesn't make content for kids. So many of you in here that I know, you don't make content for kids. So you simply just mark your videos as not for kids, but you need to be legit with that, right? If you did something to try to attract a younger audience, and I don't know why you would, because they're not paying for anything, but if you did, then you got to mark them properly. And I think that's where the problem is going to happen, when people start marking videos incorrectly, trying to slide something in, trying to be sneaky, or just not paying attention. Somebody just said, Pinoy Daddy, how's it going? He says, if my content is designated for kids, is it really demonetized? Personalized ads are going to go away. Personalized ads are going to go away. But your channel, if your channel's for kids, you're going to lose stories. You're going to lose the community tab. You're going to lose comments. You're going to lose notifications. You're going to lose end screens. You're going to lose info cards. And there's probably some other things that you're going to lose as well. Basically, yeah, if your channel is for kids, you are going to be seriously hit. A couple of videos, not a big deal, right? You can just continue to make videos that are not for kids and just keep on trucking. Videos that are for kids specifically, especially an entire channel, yeah, you're gonna hurt. Tricks are for kids, Christina. Yes, they are. Tricks are for kids. Hey, Dr. Stan, how's it going? I do not have a meme of the week prepared. I'm too fired up for a meme of the week. I'm getting all frustrated with all of these changes. And Dr. Stan clearly does not make content for children. Art by April says, so what happens if my videos are considered kid content by the government, but I don't mark them as kid content? Okay, that's a great question. If you mark your content not for kids, and the FTC says, sorry, that content, that video, those videos are for kids, here's what we don't know. Will the FTC issue a warning? Will you be given a chance to change that setting? I don't know. If anybody's heard anything on that, speak up. Let me know. As far as everything that I've read, no, you don't get an opportunity to change anything. Doesn't mean they won't, but as it stands, no. What that means is you would get a fine. If you're in the U.S., it's a $42,530 fine. $42,530 fine per video. I can't even wrap my head around that. I don't know how with a straight face people are like, hey, we're going to charge YouTubers $42,000 per video. With a how you talk about being out of touch. Now, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. There is a difference between being able to find somebody versus being able to collect from somebody. If you're in the United States and they fine you $42,530 per video, maybe you have one video, maybe you have 10 videos, maybe you have 4 videos, I don't know. But if you have that many videos and you get fined and you're just a normal person, you're not going to pay that. You're going to declare bankruptcy. I would declare bankruptcy. If they hit me with a 1 or 2 or 3 video fine, I'm declaring bankruptcy. You're not, you know how much you're getting? I'll tell you right now, FTC, you're getting 0. If you charge me with anything, you're getting 0. I'll declare bankruptcy. I'm not paying that. That's ridiculous. Most people, most human beings don't have an extra 40 grand laying around that they can give to FTC. Now, you know who does have that kind of money? Corporations. Disney has that kind of money, right? If Disney doesn't do this properly and Disney gets hit, Disney will get fined. Now, maybe Disney will sue them and try to get out of it and drag it out in court. Maybe, maybe not. But large corporations are going to have money to do that. Maybe really large channels. So, hey, Quam Tips, how's it going, dude? Nice to see you in here. It says, my content is for Thai language market, not targeted towards kids here, let alone America. Yeah, Quan, you are 100% safe, dude. 100% safe, but you still need to make sure. So all of your videos are going to be set, right? Just going to be like a default setting. It's probably going to be marked not for kids, but you do need to go in, Quan, and make sure that everything is set correctly, just in case one of them is set incorrectly. Just cover yourself on that. But yeah, you're totally in the clear. But here's the thing. So if you're not in the United States, the FTC technically can't reach you, right? That's an American thing. However, YouTube is in the United States. So if the FTC says, hey, we're going to levy a fine on this channel, and they can't do that, my guess is, and this is probably what's going to happen, is you're just probably going to get your channel terminated. Quan says, I've done it on the channel settings level via the desktop. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Yeah, so if they can't get you, say you're in the Philippines, like, hey, I'm in the Philippines, middle fingers to the FTC, you can't touch me. I'm in the middle of the ocean on an island, middle fingers, right? Well, guess what? YouTube is in the United States. Their headquarters is in the United States. The FTC could pressure them to just terminate your channel. So if they can't collect from you, my guess is your channel will get terminated. So everybody's got to play by these rules here. All right, I'm going to take some questions. I'm going to see what kind of questions you guys are dropping into the form down in the description. And we're not doing channel reviews today. Only thing we're talking about is this FTC, the new YouTube changes. So if you've got questions and you definitely want me to get to them, head down to the description. I've got a link to a form. Drop your question in the form. It's going to be first come, first serve. There's currently not very many of them in there. And here's the thing. I cannot determine if your channel is made for kids or not. That's not a job for me. What I can do is I can direct you to a Google link and a Google video. Actually, my last video that just went up where I'm talking about this, where I've got like this, the end on my thumbnail. If you go onto my channel and you go watch that, in the description right up towards the top, I have a link to YouTube's official video response to this, where they go through and they talk about what this actually means and what they can and cannot do and what you need to do as creators. And I've also linked out to Google's support page on this. And Google's support page is the one that I was looking at earlier, which is this one right here, where it talks about determining if your content is made for kids. Now, we just had a spike in viewership. So those of you who weren't around when I was going through this, I'm going to drop a link into the chat. And probably half of you are just going to disappear when I do that, but that's cool because I want you to be protected. So I'm dropping a link into the chat right now. So everything that I talked about a little bit earlier when I went over what things that they say could be considered for children, everything is in that link that I just dropped in there. That's by Google. Google owns YouTube, in case you don't know. So that's those are the rules we have to go by at this moment. Studio Geek 32, man. You're welcome, brother. I'm just trying to make sure that people are... people are covered. Let's see. Car Galaxy Studio says, yeah, don't forget to smash that like button. Yeah, you guys, look, I know not everybody can stay in here. A lot of you are coming in and out. If you are going to dip, if you're going to go look at the Google thing and do something else, just give me a thumbs up on the way out if you don't mind. Just lets me know that you did enjoy, you did get something out of this live stream. Now, I'm going to jump over to the Super Chats really quick because I want to make sure that I did get everybody's Super Chat, so give me a moment, if you will. Okay, so Quantum Gaming says, gamers check the game ESRB ratings for age ranges. Yeah, so this is something that Doug Houston and I were talking about today in the Nimmin Discord. And that is the governing group that gives age restrictions to games is called the ESRB. I forget what it stands for, but it's a group that puts the age rating on games. Now, here's what we don't know. Are they going to talk to the FTC, and are they going to be the ones who decide, okay, so let's say this game is rated for 13-year-old and above, all right? They've rated this game 13-year-old and above. Okay, is the FTC going to abide by that? Or is the FTC going to say, yeah, I don't know, man. They've got some cute and cuddly teddy bears in there. That pink furry teddy bear there in Fortnite looks pretty kid yummy to me. We're going to disagree with your rating. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We don't know. But I'll tell you this. Back when I was talking about collecting the money, right? They can fine people and they can collect the money. Those are two totally different things. Going after... and I mean no disrespect to anybody in the chat right now, but going after low-hanging fruit, and by that I mean smaller channels who cannot pay. If you know, and I'm going to pick on somebody in the chat, and I don't know you, so don't take. I'm just grabbing somebody random out of the chat. Let's say Muka Fitness. I don't know you, I don't know anything about you. I'm just using you as an example. Let's say Muka Fitness gets fined by the FTC $42,530 for a single video, right? Now, there's a good chance that Muka Fitness is not going to be able to pay. Let's just say Muka is in the United States, and they're probably going to declare bankruptcy. And then that's the end of that. They're not going to be able to collect. So by that, I mean low-hanging fruit. It's going to be, I think it would be silly and counterproductive for them. This is just my opinion based on how the U.S. government works. It's silly and counterproductive to go after somebody who they can't collect from. The FTC needs money to operate. They're not going to just go after a bunch of people they know they can't collect from. However, large channels, look at Ninja. Like let's just say theoretically they're going to go after Fortnite. Who do you think they're going to go after first? By the way, who plays Fortnite in here? Somebody tell me if they play Fortnite. Torbuild, no, you do not go to prison. You're not going to go to prison for this. Just make sure you mark your videos correctly, and at worst, you're going to get your channel terminated. Okay, so Catherine Plays YT. I'm going to use you as an example because Catherine Plays, I believe you're younger. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm just going to use this as an example. So the FTC says, hey, we're going to find some people. We can go after Catherine Plays. And I'm not trying to throw shade on you, my friend. I'm just going to use you as an example here. Catherine Plays has a Fortnite channel with 33 subscribers. Catherine Plays has 33 subscribers. Ninja, right? How many subscribers does Ninja have? How much money does Ninja have? I'm going to guess. I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess that Ninja makes a ton of money. He might be able to pay a $42,530 fine per video or multiple videos. I'm sure he's incorporated or a limited or LLC. He's probably set up in a way to protect himself, but he can probably absorb that kind of a hit. Where Catherine Plays, they're not going to pay that. And the FTC is going to look at the channel and say, okay, yeah, they got 33 subscribers. They're not making any money. They're definitely not going to be able to pay this fine. But these big channels probably can. So in my opinion, hey, Josephine, in my opinion, they're going to go after people they know they can collect from. So they will be setting an example. And as a gamer, I wouldn't panic until they start going after gamers. I would mark your videos. Like if you know that your audience is not children, like, hey, I don't make content for children. That's not what I do. Then mark your videos for that. Hey, I don't make videos for kids, not for kids. But if the day comes where they start, day number one, they hit Ninja or they hit one of the other really large gaming channels, you're in, yeah, you guys are in a world of hurt. Then every man for himself. That's probably going to be the largest shutdown of YouTube channels happening ever at once. But keep an eye on what happens because they're probably not going to go after smaller channels first. They're probably going to go after people they can collect from so they can set an example. The Purge. Yeah, okay, so this is The Purge, right? And I also want to mention this. I've had people reach out to me and ask me in DM. They say, hey, I heard YouTube's getting shut down next year, 2020. YouTube is not getting shut down. This isn't the end of YouTube. YouTube's not going anywhere. YouTube's not going away. YouTube is not going to fail, right? And there's been a lot of talk about there was a change to their terms where YouTube mentioned something about terminating accounts. You guys know what I'm talking about because I get asked this a lot. Exactly. Andrew says there's so much misinformation this time around. So Andrew, I didn't see your reply, but in about 10 or 15 minutes, we're going to switch over to StreamYard, and I would love to have you on and talk about this. Hey, Michael Anthony, 141, how's it going? Okay, Beyond Beauty, since you're watching a stream on my channel, go to my channel, look at my last video talking about the FTC changes. I show you how to change your settings there on a phone, and then go down to a pinned comment. Go down to your comments at the top. I have a link out showing you how to do it on your computer as well. And I totally forgot the part I was talking about before that. I think we're just saying to keep an eye on the channels because they're going to make an example out of somebody. And they're going to make an example out of somebody they can collect from. And this could turn into a huge legal battle, right? Like this could happen. This could turn into a huge legal battle. Injunctions could be filed. And all of this could be just on hold until the courts decide. Just because the FTC and YouTube came to this agreement doesn't mean that they can't get sued and this gets tied up in court for months or even years. So jury's out on that. We're going to have to see. Doug says there is some nonsense in the chat around this. Yeah, there's so much nonsense. And here's the thing. I know there are some gamers with large channels talking about their partner manager said this, or their partner manager said that, or their inside sources on YouTube said this. Here's the thing. You need to pay attention to what YouTube says. You need to pay attention to what Google says because they're calling the shots. Google, YouTube, the FTC. If you're not getting your information from one of those three, you're getting wrong information. All right. I'm going to go to the next question. This question is, I have two questions. This comes from Canny says, I have 2 questions. Will my content get deleted once the new law comes out? And I've been uploading regularly and getting less and less views. Okay, I'm just going to focus on will your content get deleted? No, your content is not going to get deleted if it's marked correctly. So if your content is made for children and it's marked for children, then the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to lose some features, right? Nobody's going to delete anything. And by the way, deleting your content is not the answer. And Roberto Blake, I agree, says people should consult lawyers like Ian Corzine. Yeah, if you can consult a lawyer, and you know, I would love to. I know there is one lawyer who gave his take on this, and up this point, it's opinions, right? Everybody's giving opinions based on the information that they have. So we're going to have to wait and see exactly what happens, who they go after. Are they really going to find people? Are they going to give warnings, warning shots? Who knows? And by the way, Roberto, I saw that your live stream was demonetized last night, so I am totally counting on my live stream to be demonetized as well. But yeah, your channel's not going to get deleted, so you don't have to worry about that. That's not going to happen. All right, next question from Adeep. Hey, Adeep, how's it going, man? Says, hope you're doing well. My question is whether my vlogging content will be impacted with the new rules of COPPA. Being precise, my vlogging is not meant for children, but they can also watch it if they want. Sometimes my vlogging may include some children, and I want to ask whether including children may impact the channel or not. I hope I'm being clear. Yes, Adeep, you are being clear. And for those of you who are just chiming in, I'm going to go back to this Google support page right here. And I'm going to drop this link in once again because I know the viewership numbers just spiked up again, and I want people to be able to see this. So determining, and then, by the way, this is from Google support page directly, determining if your content is made for kids. And what they do, Adeep, this is for you too, they go through and they talk about if your channel, if your videos are this, if your videos are that, if your videos are this or that, then you probably need to mark them for kids. And they go into detail. And they do say that just having kids in your video by themselves does not mean you have to mark them for kids. It's the intent. It's what did you make the video for? What audience did you make the video for? If you made your video with the sole purpose of attracting a younger audience under the age of 13, then you need to mark your content for kids. So that's what you need to do there. All right, next question. One second here, go over. And in terms of your vlogging, I think you're going to be fine, but if there's anything with kids in it, just double check it to make sure that you didn't frame the video to be appealing to children. And that's really the key, is you need to make sure that nothing is appealing to children. Michael Groff says, my channel is in the fitness niche, especially CrossFit. When I created my channel, I didn't have any intention of targeting kids. What's your opinion? I think if you're not targeting kids, if that is not your intent, if your videos do not look like they're appealing to kids in any way, shape, or form, my opinion, which I'm not an attorney, would be that you're not appealing to kids. Mark your videos as not for kids. However, if you have any videos whatsoever where you're trying to do kids CrossFit, or you're trying to appeal to kids, or you're putting cartoons in your thumbnails or something that could be appealing to kids, I would mark those videos for kids just to play it safe, because you don't want to be someone who, you don't want to be the example. Somebody is going to be the example. That's the unfortunate thing. Somebody is going to have their tail end handed to them. Haseen Plays says, I looked at my YouTube audience and they were 18 to 24. Does that mean my channel is for adults or teens? Okay, so here's the thing. In your analytics, YouTube only gives us data from 13 years old and above. 13 years old and above. That's because you need to be 13 years old to have a YouTube account. However, because parents allow their kids to get onto YouTube unsupervised, kids under the age of 13 are on YouTube. We don't see that data. We don't know how many people under the age of 13 are actually watching our content. For that, we don't know. So you don't know, Haseen. But I know, Haseen, if I'm not mistaken, you yourself, I think you're like 13 you're like 12 or 13-year-old yourself, if I'm not mistaken. So if that's the case, then for you, if you're putting yourself in the video, if you're in front of the video, if you're gaming and you've put yourself down in the corner like so many gamers do because you yourself are young, I would mark it for kids if you're appealing to kids, right? A lot of gray area here. Andrew says, what I would like to know is my content being served on YT Kids. I would guess probably not, but who knows? I've never opened YouTube Kids. And that's the funny thing about all of this. YouTube has YouTube Kids for kids who are under the age of 13. They have this already. Hey, Matt, how's it going? They have YouTube Kids. That's the mind-blowing part of all of this. Dr. Sten says, someone said if you see a plummet in your views after January, you will know if kids are watching. Yeah. Andrew says, that's the thing. I haven't opened YouTube Kids, but analytics, I can't seem to find the answer. Hey, Heidi, how's it going? All right, so I'm going to go back. I think I missed some super chats here again. So Midnight Madness 4x4 says, funny how politicians are giving creators crap for kids content, but it's perfectly fine for politicians to use kids and babies for political campaigns. Yeah. Yeah. But, I think, though, a lot of this stuff is, YouTube. I don't know. How many of you remember this? This is back in September 4th of this year. Google and YouTube will pay a record $170 million for alleged violations of the children's privacy law. So this is a fine that the FTC gave YouTube because YouTube was serving targeted ads to children under the age of 13. That's the simplistic explanation of that. But all of this thing that's happening now is happening because of this. This is where it all started, and this is all part of the agreement coming from YouTube for them. So, yeah. Thanks, YouTube. Thanks, FTC. All right, next question comes from the forum here. He says, so basically, I'm new to this COPPA and FTC thing. I don't swear on my videos, and I don't want my comments or ads to be blocked. Any help because I'm lost? Yeah, okay, so we're back to ground zero here. In case you just came in, it says you're half gaming, half tutorial. So if you're making your games, if you're making your tutorials with the intent of attracting children, if you're using imagery, if you're using cartoon images, if you're using characters or celebrities, this is all according to Google's own words here from the FTC. If you're using any of that to attract children to your videos, then you need to mark your videos as for children. Next question comes from Aline Faber, who says, do we have to both state that the channel and the videos are for kids or adults? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you can set your entire channel for kids, like a channel wide. Doug, Roberto, Andrew, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I believe you can do a channel wide thing there. Yes, Dr. Sten, the FTC, thank you, Federal Trade Commission. Okay, that's what I thought. You can set it at channel wide, right? So you can set it channel wide to ripple through all the videos, or you can go through and you can set it per video. You can also say yes on a per video basis, right? All right, so next question comes from Eric Waltz, Whiskey Studies. Okay, Whiskey Channel, I would say you are 100% safe except for those child alcoholics. This is about a year ago, a minor under the age of 21 joined Whiskey Tuber live stream, so I added in a following caveat in the description of all my videos. This video is intended for viewers who are of legal alcoholic beverage drinking age in their country. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, that's past. That ship has sailed. We can't put disclaimers up anymore. Like, this is taking place. This is happening. This is happening. It's taking place December 10th. It's happening. GYSI says, if I delete my videos, can the FTC do anything about it? Well, if the videos are gone, then your videos are gone. But the thing is you don't have to delete your videos. You don't have to delete anything. You just have to make sure you mark them correctly. And if you're in doubt, okay, so I have two tutorials on my channel where I teach people how to make gaming thumbnails. I think one of them is a Fortnite thumbnail, and another one I might be PUBG or something like that. PUBG I'm not too worried about. Fortnite, because they do have some characters in there that could be appealing to kids, I will probably mark that one for kids just to cover my behind on that, because I'd rather not declare bankruptcy if it's if I have any say so in it. So yeah, I would say if you're on the fence, if you're not sure, then I would mark it for kids if you have something that's on the fence there. Roberta says, my cynical point of view is, so what if they stop serving targeted ads to kids? Kids don't have money. Other thing is, why don't they care about TV films showing underage drinking? Roberto, man, you're preaching to the choir. I'm 100% on board with that. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care about the violence. Here's the thing. Nobody says, hey, there's too much violence in video games for children. Hey, there's too much violence in movies Even if they go with their parents, right? Hey, there's too much violence here. There's too much that. There's too much stuff. What about the commercials that are playing on TV between shows? Yeah, I think it's nonsense too, Roberto. I think it's absolutely just mind-boggling. Yeah. Mind-boggling. All right. Next question. Is South Park considered appealing to children because it's animated? Okay, so that's a great question. So here's how I would interpret that. South Park, Beavis and Butthead, Rick and Morty, they are clearly not targeting children, right? They are adult-themed cartoons. However, hey, Lemon Cream, they are adult-themed cartoons, but based on their own definition here, going back, no, I'm not giving you feedback. Where's it at? Upcoming kids content. Did I close this down already? Where is it at? Yeah, according to this part right here, right? So think about South Park, Beavis and Butthead, Rick and Morty, whatever adult cartoons. What's the one on Netflix with the hormone monster and the I forget that one. That's one of my favorites. Says whether the video includes characters, celebrities, or toys that appeal to children, including animated characters or cartoon figures. So the content itself isn't made for children, but separated from that, those characters could appeal to children. Big Mouth, yeah, that's what it was, Big Mouth, right? Those characters could appeal to children, and somebody gets to make that decision, and it's not us. Family Guy, definitely not 13, but if you take Stewie, if you take the Family Guy characters and you put them on a thumbnail, or if you put them in a video and you're talking about something else, that character by itself could be appealing to children. And I'm going to, I'm going on a reach there, but somebody gets to decide that, and we don't get to decide. Beanie draws. He draws dinosaurs. Who decides if dinosaurs are appealing to kids or not? Right? All right, next question. That was a good one. All right, so I'm going to move along. So Mustard Bro Gaming says, I'm going to go off of that one here. Mustard Bro Game. Well, I'm going black. Okay, Mustard Bro Gaming says, under the new policy of YouTube, where does gameplay or live streams come under? Does it come under the kids or not for kids? A little bit confused about it. Again, it goes back to your intent. Gameplay, it depends on the games. If you're playing a game that appeals to children, you might have to mark that gameplay as for children. We'll find out what gamers are going to have to deal with here pretty soon. Live streams, you're also going to have to mark that as well. Excuse me. I personally, I would not want to be playing a game right now that's on the fence. Like if you're playing a military game or something where it is clearly not for kids and the characters could not be confused for something that's appealing to kids, Call of Duty, Black Ops, that sort of thing. Not for kids, no question about it. Fortnite, on the other hand, Minecraft, yeah, I don't know. I would be kind of uncomfortable playing those games at the moment. Once we get a little bit of clarity, if we ever get clarity, then we can feel a little bit better about it. All right, next question is, okay, you didn't put your name in there. Oh, yeah, you did. Will Minecraft animations be considered for kids content? That one comes from Kathleen Plays. I don't know. Somebody, does YouTube get to decide? The FTC get to decide? Some 60-year-old, 65-year-old, out-of-touch lifer in the FTC, they get to decide which characters? I really don't know. Dingus Bringus says, I'm in the gray area. Should I just mark my videos for kids to be safe? Also, what's going to happen to private videos? What type of content are you making? So you didn't say. If you're in the gray area and you're not sure, I would mark everything. Okay, Andrew, we're gonna do that in just a second. If you're in the gray area and you're not sure, then I would mark it for kids. And you're gonna lose features, but if you don't know, if you're like, hey, I'm in the gray area, this could be considered for children, to be safe, I would mark it for kids, and then I would not make content like that anymore. Okay, now here's what we're gonna do, guys. We're gonna do something a little bit different here, and I'm probably going to lose. This is kind of a no. Here's the funny thing. There's 100 and how many people are in here right now? There are 181 people currently watching this stream, and this is like a huge no-no for live streaming, but I'm going to do it because this is important. Hey, Shannon, this is important, and I really don't care about the numbers on this. I want you guys to be. I want other opinions on this. I'm going to bring in Andrew Can. who those of you know, Andrew Can, standalone, awesome creator. He also works for TubeBuddy. Roberto Blake is getting ready to come in. If anybody else wants to come in, let's do that. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to shut this stream down, and I'm going to start a new stream in about 1 to 2 minutes. I just need to swap things out, and it's going to be in a different platform. I'm going to use StreamYards, and I'm going to be able to pull other creators in so we can have this conversation. Okay, so anybody who wants to come in on this, Roberto, I'm going to, and Andrew both, I'm going to send you a Twitter link in the DM to this. So we're going to go live. So we're going to be shut down for like 1 to 2 minutes, and I want you to come back. If you don't see we're live within 2 minutes, go to my main channel, because it's possible. I don't know if YouTube is going to create a second stream or keep this one going. It probably depends on how fast we do this. So if you're like, hey, he didn't come back, go to my channel and see if we've started a new stream right there. So yeah, so this is going to happen. Give me about 2 minutes, and I can't believe I'm shutting down a stream with 180 people. I love it. I love you guys. I love it. And by the way, everybody give this a thumbs up on the way out, just to make me feel better about shutting this down. All right, we're going down right now.